do you need to apply for this loan forgiveness program? The Department of Education says it's going to work quickly and efficiently to set up a simple application process for borrowers to claim debt relief. And the administration says the application would be available in early October. And it's recommended that you should apply as soon as applications become available so that the forgiveness will hopefully take place before the loan pause stops on January 1st, 2023.
Are you ready for a successful retirement? We're addressing the topics facing today's retirees. Welcome to Retire with Ryan. Now here's your host, Ryan Morrissey.
Welcome back. This is episode 114. I'm sure you've recently read about the student loan relief program that's been passed. And in this week's episode, we're going to discuss 2 ways that you can benefit from this forgiveness program. But before we get into that, just 2 quick announcements. One, that our 2022 listener survey is available for you to complete. I would greatly appreciate you taking a few minutes by going to retirewithryan.com, completing the listener survey so you can help me continue to make this the best retirement podcast that there is. Secondly, our in-person retirement readiness workshops are beginning at the end of September. If you or a friend or a family member doesn't have a plan for retirement, or maybe you have a plan that you haven't updated in a while, this would be a great opportunity for you to do that. These classes are taking place in person in Cheshire and in Middletown, and you can sign up for them by also going to retirewithryan.com. Now, I'm sure that you've read recently that the new loan forgiveness program has been passed, and it's estimated to help up to 43 million federal loan borrowers who will qualify for this debt relief. And it's going to have a large impact and help a lot of people. So I thought it'd be a good time to go over the program, talk about how it works, how you can qualify for it, and the different ways that you could potentially reduce a good amount of your student loans. So first thing, how much debt will be forgiven for borrowers? For those who don't exceed the income cap, you'll qualify for up to $10,000 of traditional federal loans or $20,000 of Pell Grants. So to figure out what type of loans you have, the best place to go is studentaid.gov. And from there, you can determine what type of loans that you have and how much of those loans are eligible to be forgiven. Second thing is, can you receive a greater amount of loan forgiveness if your balance is less than $10,000 or $20,000? So let's just say, for example, that you do have a $14,000 Pell Grant. Well, unfortunately, you can't get an additional $6,000 in your pocket. You're only eligible to have your $14,000 Pell Grant paid off. The same thing would be true if you have one of the federal loans for $6,000 and you're eligible for up to $10,000. You can't receive that additional $4,000. Number 3, what is the qualifying income cap? An individual borrower must have an income below $125,000 in either 2020 or 2021 to qualify. And for a married couple filing joint taxes or a head of household, the annual income must not exceed $250,000. And this eligibility is based on adjusted gross income, and you can use your income from either 2020 or 2021 to qualify. Unfortunately, income from 2022 cannot be used. And any current dependent college students can qualify for loan forgiveness, but they would have to use their parental income from 2020 or 2021 to qualify. Number 4, what period of time are the loans eligible for forgiveness? These are all federal college loans issued no later than June 30th, 2022. Number 5, what loans are eligible and ineligible? So as I said before, any federal direct loan will be eligible, and there are 4 types of direct loans: direct subsidized and unsubsidized loans, direct grad plus loans, direct parent plus loans, and direct consolidation loans. And there is one other category of loan, that's the federal family education loan. This is also eligible with some caveats. This program was discontinued in 2010, and people usually worked with private lenders to provide education loans guaranteed by the government. And the holders of these FFEL loans are eligible as long as the debt is held by a federal loan servicer. And what doesn't automatically qualify for loan forgiveness is an FFEL loan that is held commercially. And you can find out if your FFEL loan is held commercially or by a federal loan servicer by also visiting studentaid.gov. And once you do this, if you do find out that your loan is commercially held, there is a workaround. You could have that debt moved to a federal direct consolidation loan, which would then make it qualify for the loan forgiveness. And that's what's being reported by the Department of Education. So if you do have an FFEL loan that you'd have to consolidate for forgiveness, you should not delay, and you should contact your loan servicer and ask your loan servicer what needs to be done to move that to a direct consolidation loan. Number 6, can you receive additional forgiveness if you hold 2 different types of federal loans? Let's say, for instance, you have a parent direct loan and you also have a parent plus loan for a child. Unfortunately, you can't double dip, as they say. You can't have more than $10,000 of a federal direct loan or $20,000 of a Pell loan forgiven. Number 7, is private loan debt eligible for forgiveness? Unfortunately, the answer is no. Number 8, what about federal student loan debt was refinanced into a private college loan? Unfortunately, if you did this, you're out of luck. You're not going to be eligible for the $10,000 or $20,000 forgiveness. Usually when you do refinance a federal loan into a private loan, you're doing this because you're paying less interest than you would on a federal loan. And you also are losing all the federal protections when you do this. But hopefully, if you did do this, you got a much lower interest rate. It's just unfortunate that this forgiveness has come through. Number 9, do borrowers who made loan payments during the loan pause period have any recourse if they qualify for their debt being wiped out? And if they do, could they ask for a refund? Yes. If you're in this situation and you were making payments and now you're eligible to have those payments wiped out, then you should contact your loan servicer and request a refund. Wording in the CARES Act, which put a pause on federal loan repayments, which began on March 13th, 2020, allows for this. And once you have this proof of loan payments, you should then reach out to your servicer to request a refund. Number 10, do you need to apply for this loan forgiveness program? The Department of Education says it's going to work quickly and efficiently to set up a simple application process for borrowers to claim debt relief. And the administration says the application would be available in early October. And it's recommended that you should apply as soon as applications become available so that the forgiveness will hopefully take place before the loan pause stops on January 1st, 2023. You may be aware that there's been a loan pause in federal loan repayment, and that is most likely going to be ending on January 1, 2023. There's been a number of extensions, but it's believed that that's not going to go any further past that. So if you owe less than $10,000 or $20,000, then you probably want to get your application in as soon as possible so that you don't have to make any further loan payments. Number 11, will taxes be owed on the forgiven federal debt? There'll be no federal taxes owed on the forgiven debt, and this is thanks to the American Rescue Plan passed by Congress last year. And student loan forgiveness will not be subject to federal taxes through 2025. However, there are some states that could subject you to state taxes on the forgiven amount. And according to the Tax Foundation, an independent tax policy nonprofit, 13 states have the potential to tax forgiven debt, though that number might decline. So what are those states? They're Arkansas, Hawaii, Idaho, Kentucky, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, New York, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Number 12, how can borrowers get the latest information regarding this evolving debt forgiveness initiative? Borrowers can be notified about any new developments in the loan forgiveness initiative by signing up for emails with the Department of Education, and I'll put a link in the show notes to where you can do that. I'll also put a link in the show notes to the other link I mentioned, studentaid.gov. Number 13, what to watch out for. Definitely watch out for scammers. Anytime a major program like this comes about, there's going to be a lot of scams out there. And if someone contacts you asking you for any of your personal information. You should never, ever give that out. But especially now, don't give out your date of birth. Don't give out your social security number. Anybody who contacts you saying you're a loan servicer, make sure you verify who they are. And a lot of this is going to be done online anyway, so you probably shouldn't be talking to somebody and giving them your information. And the last thing to know about this, number 14, is this loan forgiveness a sure thing? And it's expected that the loan forgiveness program will be challenged in court. And in a legal memo, the Biden administration said it's using executive authority permitted under the HEROES Act, passed after 9/11, that allowed for expanded presidential powers during a national emergency. And many critics have said that President Biden does not have the authority to forgive debt on such a massive scale, and it really does nothing to curtail the rising cost of college. A lot of people argue that colleges will just keep charging more and more money now that they know that there's debt forgiveness, and maybe another round of debt forgiveness will come in the future. We don't know what the future will bring, but we know now that this program is there. So if you're eligible for it, make sure that you check into the type of loans that you have. And when the application process is open, estimated sometime in October, that you fill that out and you take advantage of one of the two ways, either a federal loan or a Pell Grant. So I hope this helps clarify on what you need to know about the loan forgiveness program. And as a reminder, if you could complete my survey, or if you're interested in signing up for my retirement readiness workshops, please go to retirewithryan.com. Have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you next Wednesday. Take care.
You should consult a financial advisor familiar with your specific circumstances before you make any financial decisions. Nothing in this broadcast constitutes a solicitation for the sale or purchase of any securities. Any mention of rates of return are historical or hypothetical in nature and are not a guarantee of future returns. Ryan Morrissey, CFP, is an investment advisor representative of Morrissey Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor.